What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, to follow me across all socials. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you know the background's different. We're going back to the old school. Why? Well, I was in Reno all day, and I got up at 3 a.m., and all of my stuff is all packed. So we got to go old school. We're going back to the old drop, the old backdrop, and who knows, maybe it will bring us some luck here. Winning day yesterday. I haven't said that in a while. 2-1. The under in the Mariners bet was a atrocious play, but Red Sox team total over. Red Sox money line cashed. The game went over. 3-0 in that game if you bet all three plays. Maybe that's the start of something. Officially, we went 2-1. I went 4-1 yesterday, which I haven't had a 4-1 day in a really long time. So that was nice to get that, and we've made it to Saturday. Look, there's going to be people out there that are going to break down the Olympics, and you can bet the Olympics all you want, okay? I am just not going to be at this moment betting the Olympics. Maybe some basketball here or there. Maybe occasionally we'll jump in with the golf. I don't know, but it's just not something that I watch all that often or I handicap it all that often. So I know a lot of you are wondering, like, Matt, are you going to bet the Olympics? I don't know, okay? That's the answer. I don't know. Right now, the answer is no. At least for today, the answer is no. For those of you who have had a difficult time with either this podcast or with me or whatever that's been going on, okay? One, I don't work for Vegas. I don't know what that even means that I work for Las Vegas, okay? I don't really understand that. I know this has been a bad month, but we could have a winning week. And a winning week this week, a winning week next week, and maybe we start to get some positive momentum into August and we start to roll, okay? I've said this for 4 years now. I don't win every day. I don't win every week. I don't win every month, okay? There's a roller coaster ride when it comes to this stuff. And, you know, you can fade me when I'm at the bottom and you can ride me when I'm on top and whatever you want to go with it. But it's not so much of a, it's a marathon, okay? It's a marathon. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being here. And for those of you who are really mad for a variety of reasons, I can't help you. I'm sorry, okay? This is a free podcast. Let's get into it, okay? I've got 4 plays for us. This feels like a fall card for me, okay? I got a bunch of stuff to go on. Let's start with the baseball. Only one play. Red Sox team total over. 4.5 minus 120. Why? The Red Sox, going all the way back to their series against the Dodgers, they've scored 6, 6, 8, 6, 7, and 9 runs. They've gone over 4.5 now for 6 consecutive games. I'm just going to keep riding it, okay? I know it's Marcus Stroman for the Yankees. I get it. He could be difficult, but I like betting streaks. This Red Sox offense is really hot. They're at home. It's a muggy Saturday night. Yankees pitching is not good. Their bullpen is not good. Red Sox came from behind and won the game 9-7 last night. I just think this offense is scoring runs. Over 4.5 is minus 120 from a team total perspective. Red Sox over 4.5, minus 120 for 1.2 units. Let's keep the bats alive. Yes, I do know it's Marcus Stroman. Yes, I do know what his ERA is on the road. Yes, I understand that he is 7-5 with a 3.51 ERA, and on the road, he's been tremendous with a 2.5 ERA, 5-1 record, opposing batting average of 245, and just 2 home runs given up on the road in 54 innings worth of work. I totally understand that. However, this is a guy that in his last start, yes, he was tremendous on the road, 2-1, only gave up 1 earned run and 4 1/3, but against Toronto, 4 1/3, he gave up 3 earned runs, and against these very Red Sox, he lost 9-3 in June at Fenway Park, same place where we're pitching tonight. It was a 9-3 win for Boston. He went 5, gave up 4 earned runs. Red Sox have seen a lot of Marcus Stroman with the Blue Jays, now with the Yankees. Not like they haven't seen this guy before. So team total over 4.5 Red Sox for 1.2 units. Okay, let's go to UFC 304 in Manchester, England. Awesome card. Absolutely epic card. Here's the thing. If you want a pick on the main event, it's Leon Edwards by decision. However, I want Belal Muhammad to win the fight. So I'm not going to bet it because I am biased here. I want the dog, all right? I want Muhammad to win. He got poked in the eye. Edwards hasn't been giving him any attention, hasn't been willing to give him a title shot. The first fight ended in no contest. Here we go again. I think Muhammad's live. I think he's angry. I think he wants it, but I think it goes to the cards, and I don't see Edwards losing his belt in Manchester with the judges in Manchester. So I lean towards Edwards by decision. The over 4.5 rounds is heavily juiced. That the fight to not go to the distance, or to go the distance rather, is heavily juiced. I would love to see Muhammad win inside the distance. Would love it. So I'm too involved in this, so I can't pick it and bet it officially because I just don't know. All right, I'll probably make a play rip for the fight starts on this fight, but I don't know. All right, what am I playing? I like 2-leg moneyline parlays. Molly McCann is fighting Bruna Brazil. All right, let's break these fighters down because this is fun to do. When you look at these fighters, look at their abilities and what they're capable of doing here. Molly McCann is fighting. This fight is right now scheduled to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th fight of the night. It is a prelim fight, however. Molly McCann is 14-6. Bruna Brazil is 9-4-1. Molly McCann average fight time is 10-17. Bruna's 11-49. Molly McCann's fighting at home. She got her last win by armbar on February the 3rd of this year. She had lost her 2 previous fights. Things were not going in the right way at all for Molly McCann. But Meatball is back at home, and I think Meatball is going to get the job done here. She's a big favorite, minus 340 or so. You've got her Brazil, who has lost 2 of her last 3 fights. I mean, she could win, but I don't think so. Not here. I don't want to say it's a setup for Meatball, but I think it's a win for Meatball to keep building back a lot of the luster that she lost. 2 fights later is Arnold Allen against Giga Chikadze. And Chikadze. Yeah, there we go. Giga Chikadze. Arnold Allen was supposed to be the next big thing. All right? Arnold Allen was supposed to be a title contender. He's lost his last 2 fights. And losing to Max Holloway, okay. He's lost both his last 2 fights by decision. He knocked out Calvin Kattar. He knocked out Dan Hooker. Everybody was like, look out for Arnold Allen. And everything went awry. For whatever reason, things started going the opposite direction for Arnold Allen. I think this is his shot here. Chikadze, another guy people thought were big things of, right? He lost to Calvin Kattar by decision, but that snapped a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak for him. Won his last fight, and I don't think Chikadze is a walkover by any means here, but I think Arnold Allen at minus 225. There's a reason for this. I'm taking Allen by money line, McCann by money line, minus 116 at FanDuel for this 1.16 unit, 2-leg moneyline parlay. McCann by moneyline, Allen moneyline. Now, let's go to Patty. Patty the Batty. This fight is wild. Absolutely wild because Bobby Green's live. Now, I don't know if Bobby Green can win on the cards, but Bobby Green's average fight time is 11:23. Patty Pimlet's average fight time is 9:12. For Patty, his last 2 fights have gone to the cards. As he's gone up in competition, the cards have been more frequent. Tony Ferguson, Jared Gordon, both 3-round fights, this being a 3-round fight. For Bobby Green, his last fight against Jim Miller went to a decision. Now, this is a guy who's getting up there in age, okay? He lost to Jalen Turner, got knocked out in the first round. He beat Grant Dawson. He beat Tony Ferguson in the 3rd and 1st rounds, respectively. He had a no contest against Jared Gordon, and he lost against Drew Dober. Islam Makhachev also beat him as well. But this is one of the premier, unbelievable, great fighters in the UFC. And I can't wait to watch this fight. I think this is going to be super fun to watch. Patty Pimlet is 9 years younger than Bobby Green. 32, 15-1 for Bobby Green. He's won 3 of his last 4 fights. 5 wins in a row for Patty. Is it 6 wins in a row for Patty? Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins in a row, all in the UFC. For Patty, I think this fight goes over 4.5 rounds. Sorry, 2.5 rounds. Excuse me. Over 2.5 rounds at minus 140. I'm not sure who wins, to be quite honest. Okay, I really don't. I mean, Bobby Green can win this fight. Bobby Green can win on the cards. Going to be hard to do so in Manchester, but I wouldn't put it past him. Again, whenever you go and fight Tony Ferguson and you submit Tony Ferguson in the last minute of the third and final round, you got to pay attention to Bobby Green submitting Tony Ferguson. I think the fight goes through the cards, but we're going to go over 2.5 rounds, minus 140 for 1.4 units between Bobby Green and Paddy Pimblett. And finally, it is the big boys. It is Tom Aspinall. This dude is going to crack Curtis Blades. You want to bet him to win by knockout? It's minus 155. I don't mind it. But Tom Aspinall, when healthy, every fight, last 5 fights, have all ended in the first round. Curtis Blades is the guy who got the win when Tom Aspinall got hurt back on July 2 years ago. Okay, 15 seconds in. I was on Tom Aspinall in that fight, if you remember. It was an absolutely horrific injury. He then came back and beat Tybura, beat Pavlovich. Tom Aspinall is a destroyer of men in the heavyweight division. His average fight time is a little over 2 minutes. I'm going to bet this, that the fight does not start the second round. Because Curtis Blades, if he wins, he's going to knock out Tom Aspinall very fast. Okay, very, very fast. Can Blades do it? Sure. I mean, Curtis Blades is incredible. Curtis Blades, 18-4, knocked out Almeida in his last fight in the second round. He lost to Sergey Pavlovich in the first round. He got knocked out in the first round. Most of his fights have been relatively quick as well, or lately. Second round, first round, second round. So if it starts the second round, we lose this fight. But I'm going to say this fight does not see the second round between Curtis Blades and Tom Aspinall. FanDuel has this at minus 120. Will the second round start? No. Minus 120. Doesn't matter who wins. Doesn't matter how it ends. It just ends in the first round. Submission, a club and sub, covers it, okay? As long as the second round doesn't start, we cash this bet. Minus 120. The second round will not start in the co-main event between Curtis Blades and Tom Aspinall. You can bet the under 1.5 rounds if you want, but it's expensive. It's minus 170, okay? To give you extra 2.5 minutes, you can pay for it. It's an extra 50 cents to pay for it. I'm going to roll the dice into this fight. Does not start the second round. Inside the first round, it ends between Blades and Aspinall at minus 120 for 1.2 units. Okay? So a bigger than normal card on Saturday. We had a good Friday. Let's see if we can stretch it out here a little bit and go with 3 bets in the UFC and 1 bet in baseball. Again, if you want the add-on, Leon Edwards in the main event by decision is definitely a possibility. Over 4.5 rounds, definitely a possibility, but I want Muhammad to win. So I'm probably going to stay off of it just because I'm emotionally connected to this. I would love to see Belal Muhammad win this belt after all the talking and running from Edwards. This fight's going to be a ton of fun. I just don't know what to do with it. Inside the distance, maybe. Muhammad inside the distance. Fight not to go to the cards. But I think the most logical outcome is Edwards by decision with the pro-Manchester crowd and the pro-Manchester judges. Edwards retains the belt and wins it by decision. It's plus 120 if you want to take that bet. You can do that. But I don't know. It depends on the night it goes if I'm going to jump in on that or not. All right? Red Sox team total over 4.5, minus 120. McCann and Allen, 2-leg moneyline parlay at minus 116. Patty and Green over 2.5 rounds at minus 140. And Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades, the second round to not start at minus 120. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt each and every morning. The Daily Juice podcast always being brought to you by BettingPros.com.